Hello and welcome to the training video series for Alchemist AI Pro. I am your host, Nicholas Edwards. In this video, Jamie Campbell will cover the Elicit stage of Alchemist AI Pro. Capture was about recording. You described the world, handed over the material, and the platform listened. Elicit is different. Elicit is investigative. It is the active work of drawing out what the software actually needs to do, not just compiling what somebody said in a meeting. There is a reason those two things are different stages. What the stakeholder says they want and what the software genuinely needs to do are related, but they are not the same thing. Capture gets the wish list on the table. Elicit presses on it, finds the gaps, surfaces the features that nobody named yet because they were assumed, and builds an honest picture of the needs. Think about the last time you bought software off a shelf. On the side of the box was a column of check marks. Each one listed what it could do, not how the logic worked under the hood, not what the code said, just this feature is in the box, and this feature is not. Take tax software in particular. Same branding, different box, different checkboxes based on the version. Here in this training, we are looking at designing a piece of CRM software. So think about what those checkboxes on the side of the box should look like. You would probably see a list of checkboxes that contain contact management, opportunity tracking, task and activity logging, sales pipeline, reports and dashboards. Things you won't see as a part of that checklist on the side of the box would be database schemas, workflow rules, field level validation. We're looking at just the features, named, visible, and on the list. That is the goal of Elicit. Build the side of the box. Everything else follows from having a complete and honest list here in the Elicit stage. One thing worth noting before the conversation starts. Everything uploaded in Capture feeds this initial feature list. The files, the GitHub connection, the scraped web pages, all of it arrives with equal weight, with one exception. The context statement gets the highest priority. It is the thing that the platform reads first and holds on to the hardest. If there is ever a conflict between what the context says and what the documents imply, the context will win, which is another reason why time spent on Capture is never wasted. And now I will pass the video off to Jamie Campbell to show you how to do elicitation using Alchemist AI Pro.
Now, at the Elicit stage, we are able to do two things. One, we can chat with our Alchemist, and the Alchemist is right now reading all of the material, reading the context that I provided it, and reading that document that I uploaded. The notion of what happens next is it will start by saying, what would you like to discuss? Well, first thing you want to do is make sure at the feature level, you have all of the features you want. Okay. We added a context document, and so we should see something about the personas. So as we read these, I don't see it explicitly, so I'm going to call it out. BA, I want you to leverage the personas text file to gather the 7 personas we want to attach to every contact during the sales lifecycle. And then I hit enter. And it is uploaded. Okay. And before we dive into how they attach to your contacts, I want to make sure I've got the big picture. How are you envisioning the sales team using these personas? The personas give us insight as to who influences the sale closing, the closing of the opportunity. We want to also be able to tailor messages so that we are not presenting the wrong information to the wrong contact persona. That makes total sense, matching the right message to help me get a better handle. So here's where it is going to continue to elaborate for us at the feature level. If you feel like that it's a little too deep, go ahead and say, I think I'm done. And we'll catch that in the elicit and elaborate. I am going to reply to say they would be able on a per contact opportunity basis identify the persona. Okay.
Let me pause right here. Let's look at how deep you should go into features. There's a natural inclination to overexplain during the elicit stage. Resist. Why? Let me explain the difference between elicit versus elaboration. Elicit focuses only on the big picture. You record the name of the feature, who uses it, and roughly what it does. Now, elaboration focuses on mechanics. This is where you detail the rules, the edge cases, logic, layout, and other details. There's a temptation here. It is easy to slide into details of how data is structured or what an error message says way too early in the elicit stage. The risk is spending an hour detailing a feature that eventually gets cut, and that results in wasted time. Mixing these stages slows everything down. The solution is, if the conversation drifts into details during the elicitation phase, establish a clear boundary by saying, we will get to that in elaboration. Alchemist AI Pro will mark the feature, then move on. The rule? Name it first, detail it later once it has earned its place in elaboration. Now back to Jamie.
I think I'm done. So the next part is, and again, this is an overview. We're going to probably have more videos in detail answering lots of concerns and how-tos. But in this particular video, I want to show you the frameworks. So we've now captured the basic features. And so if you think about the analog of what happened with the humans went to some CIO's office, got an understanding of what they wanted, got a few documents emailed to them, wrote up those documents, and the analog of that is exactly what's happening here. We come back with a bunch of features. Hey, Mr. CIO, we appreciate your time. We've gone through the stakes of figuring out what features you want, and we're now going to turn it over to one of our design architects who needs to evaluate just what would we would need for your application to function in your organization. That comes to the frameworks. So we will definitely want dashboards and menus. We will definitely want visual breadcrumbs because it is a Kanban board we're going to be going after. We definitely have a notion of actors and user management. We definitely want some authentication. The process and workflow elements we do want it CRUD for all major objects. We're not going to do any interfaces at this time. I do want to leverage a data layer so that I can swap things in and out as the company goes from 5 million in business to 5 billion in business. The observability and reporting, I think I do want to just have some business reports and some monitoring reports. DevOps, I'm not going to worry about. And then if it is for a government customer, we have a whole set of things here that you can also select. Feel free to evaluate these and see, clicking each one to see what gets added. I'm going to go ahead and proceed here.
And with that, Jamie just finished the Elicit stage. Remember to stay at the right altitude the whole way through. Feature name, who it serves, roughly what it does. Anytime that Alchemist AI Pro's chat or live avatar pulls towards detail, towards rules and edge cases, or how things work under the hood, the right answer is simple. We will get to that in elaboration. Say it plainly. The Alchemist AI Pro accepts the boundary, marks the feature, then we'll move on. What belongs here is on the left column. The right has its own stage later in elaboration. So let's review the living features panel on the side. This is your notebook. It is a working record accumulating in real time as your conversation progresses, which means you can look at it at any point, pick up something that feels incomplete, add a feature that just occurred to you, or ask Alchemist AI Pro's chat what it thinks is missing from your features list. Nothing is committed until you press, I think I'm done. And one thing we need to also consider is what you do not want, as in explicit exclusions. Whatever the LLM behind the scenes will be left on its own to make judgments in the end. Don't leave room for it to make assumptions about absent features. Those assumptions can be just as disruptive as missing ones. If something is out of scope for this version, just say so. I do not want is a complete sentence here, and it lands without friction. You won't hurt its feelings. A feature that is explicitly excluded is not a feature that was forgotten. That distinction matters. It is now tracked. When a stakeholder asks why something is not in a build, you could show that you have it on the roadmap. The platform responds to feedback the way a person does. Praise tells it that the direction is right and to keep moving forward. Pushback tells it to recalibrate. Even silence carries information. And the live avatar works the same way. It is a separate agent, not the reasoning engine. It is a conversational interface for the moments when typing breaks the rhythm. The same discipline applies. Stay at the feature level. Name it, confirm when it lands, and then move on to the next feature. Now, once you press, I think I am done, that means the side of the box is complete. Every feature that belongs is on the live features list at that point. Every feature that does not belong is either removed or explicitly excluded by telling Alchemist AI Pro that it doesn't belong in this version. Remember the correct mindset, the side of the box. Remember that the context statement set the direction all the way back in the capture stage. Your conversation with the platform builds the list, and the domain knowledge has to come from you. That is the Elicit stage. The next video will cover the framework stage. Jamie will continue with the training coverage, and I will still be your host. And we will see you in the next video.